talk a little bit about what is Cryptex, what is TCAP, what are we doing, who we are, and then give a brief demo of the platform. The app itself is only a handful of things you can do, so it's pretty quick. But I'm thinking we can talk a bit more about what we do, how Chainlink helped make this product possible, and then is there possible to do like a Q&A or kind of thing like that? Okay.
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
We're live.
Yep. And it just went live. So yeah, you guys good to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Really excited to have Joe and Preston join us from the Cryptex team. We spoke a few months ago before their launch, and really excited to see all the success that they've been having over the past few months since first launching. And Joe could talk a little bit more about that. As you might have heard Preston saying, yeah, we'll go into talking about a little bit about what Cryptex is, go through the platform, how to use it, show a demo. Joe will go over some stats of how the progress has been since last speaking. And if you have questions throughout this, just drop them into the chat. And we can answer them throughout or have a little session of Q&A at the end. So don't hesitate, drop some questions in the chat and we'll be able to get to them. Yeah, so welcome guys. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a few months since last time. So excited to hear some progress. And Joe, how have things been going?
Things have been great. And again, hey Keenan, hey Chainlink, thank you so much for giving us the platform to chat a little bit about things that we're doing. I know we got a chance to speak a month ago with Chris and Preston. We walked through the preliminary specifics of the product and the protocol and how we kind of wanted to build this system. And we've been building this system for the last 2 years where you're effectively tokenizing the entire crypto market cap and creating a total crypto market cap token that takes aggregated data that's provided by Chainlink, brings it on chain, which we then collateralize with ETH or DAI and create a synthetic that tracks the entire crypto market cap. So we launched this platform to the world on April 8th. We had no marketing yet, everything was just word of mouth. And within a matter of 9 days, the protocol went from $0 to $100 million in TVL. And it was a surreal experience. You know, it was absolutely bonkers. Everybody, obviously came on because in addition to launching TCAP, we launched CTX governance, which powers the entire protocol. So essentially, Cryptex is a DAO, and CTX is going to not only power TCAP, but every single asset that we work on building through, oracles that are powered by Chainlink and bringing data on chain that's then collateralized. So CTX will power that. So you saw this huge, early adopter program, 500,000 CTX. Everybody wanted them. The CTX is now live, and that's basically it. The protocol currently is sitting around 30 million in TVL. It's one of the largest DeFi projects in the world, and we're literally just getting started. It's the first inning of the game, and we could not be any more happier with how Cryptex is working and how Chainlink is powering everything.
Yeah, that's amazing progress in the first few weeks. It definitely blew up. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about it, and it's crazy. Yeah. So you have a lot of kind of moving pieces with it. What are some of the things that maybe you learned in those first few weeks of starting a new DeFi project?
Press, you want to take this one?
Yeah, for sure. So a little bit on my background is I'm a protocol engineer with Prismatic Labs. So we work on the core protocol of Ethereum. And working with Joe and Cryptex in general has been my first production product in the application layer. I have always been interested in the application layer because I'm thinking about who are our initial users of Ethereum, and that is dApp developers. So I certainly learned a lot about how to build these kind of applications. So how it takes a long time to get an audit done, and how you want to simulate everything multiple times before you do it, because mainnet you usually only get one chance to do something. So I mean, that's definitely been a big learning experience for me, not having done any smart contract development or anything like that. But also that with the design of the protocol, that we have learned to trust our assumptions, but also to revisit those and think about, we know it's a good idea, but is there a better idea in the way we can do things? So when we were thinking about how are we going to make TCAP the total market cap, crypto market cap token, we're wondering, like, how do you issue a new synthetic token? And that has certainly been a very exciting learning experience.
Yeah. And for everyone listening in, Preston, as he mentioned, he works at Prismatic Labs and one of the legends working on the infamous ETH 2.0. So definitely give your claps and a like to the video for him as well. And definitely check out the platform and walk along with us as we go through here. So without further ado, Preston, do you want to maybe just walk through a demo of how we can use it?
Yeah, let's take a look at our application here. So the site we're looking at here, this is cryptex.finance. This is the landing page for Cryptex and kind of what's going on. Our flagship product is the total crypto market cap token. And here you can immediately see a little bit of data about what this token is. You see that the total crypto market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies is around $2.3 trillion, right? And what TCAP does is it is a price that moves exactly with that value, right? It's divided by, I think, 10 billion or something like that. I don't remember the divisor off the top of my head, but you take that value on the left, divide it by 10 billion, and then you have the value on the right, and that's the true price of TCAP. There's a little bit more information here. We have TCAP is collateralized. It's a crypto collateralized asset. So for every TCAP that exists, there is at least 2 times the value stored somewhere. In our case, it's in what we call a vault. That way, you're assured that we're not just, the protocol is not just printing money or making up money. It actually has some value behind that. You also have links here to the white paper, the actual open source code, a link to the Chainlink oracles and how those work, and then our audit by QuantStamp. There's some helpful links to get started on the types of things you can do with TCAP. We'll get into that in a moment. And then there is the CTX governance token. CTX is live now, and with these tokens that you can earn through yield farming or other future incentives, the token holders of CTX are the ones that are driving Cryptex. They are actually, it's kind of like owning a piece of the protocol. With these tokens, you have voting rights on what should be done. So, for example, if we wanted to change any of the parameters of the system, launch new incentives, new vault types, or protocol upgrades, as a CTX token holder, you have the right to vote for or against such proposals, and only when a proposal has reached enough voting power can it be executed and the protocol can be changed. With that, we have some info on the token. There's a Medium post, our forum, and snapshot and where to vote, and a bit of documentation. Here's a bit on the team. Skip over that for now. You guys can read up on who we are. Joe and I are here today. Christian's our blockchain developer, and Tom's our marketing expert. There's a few posts here and some questions. So with that, let's dive right into the app and take a look at how it works. Oops, it opened a new tab. All right, so I just clicked app, and I'm logged in with a mainnet account that already has some TCAP on it. But I'm going to show you how this account was able to create TCAP and really what you can do with it. So in this account, they have 71 TCAP. That's their TCAP balance. They don't have any CTX because all of it is being used for yield farming at the moment. So This is the landing page you're going to land on. We call this the dashboard page. You can immediately see some of the same information we saw on the other page, total market cap, and then the derived price of TCAP token. And then you have your 4 basic action buttons. These are really the 4 things you can do with TCAP. You can trade, mint, pool, join a liquidity pool, and then farm with those liquidity pool tokens. But let's take a look at minting. So we'll take a look at the vault. If it's your first time, visiting this page, for example, this account does not have a DAI vault. You have basically two types of collateral you can use. You can use either ETH or wrapped ETH, which is essentially the same type of asset, or DAI as your collateral to collateralize and mint TCAP. So let's imagine we created a vault. This account already has one created for ETH, and we'll take a look at that. For here, they have staked some Ethereum assets, and they have minted or essentially borrowed TCAP, which they can then, do whatever they like. They can sell, essentially taking, if I was to mint TCAP and then sell it right away, that would essentially be taking a short position on the total market cap relative to the underlying collateral. So if I think ETH is going to go up more than the rest of the market, that would be a pretty good bet. But there are other things you can do besides the speculation. We have several liquidity pools that you can join. 2 of these on SushiSwap are incentivized with yield farming. So here we have the TCAP and ETH one, which has 12 million, almost 13 million of liquidity. And then the ETH and TTX pool, which has 2.7, almost 2.8 million in liquidity. Then we have another Uniswap one with kind of low liquidity. That one we're not really using yet, but it does exist. So it is there if you want to be one of the ones to have a high percentage of a pool. That one on Uniswap's a good pick. Diving into the farming, initially when the product launched, it came with some early adopter rewards. So if you were with us in the first 2 weeks, you were eligible for some rewards just for having a TCAP vault and having debt. Those are unfortunately inactive now, since the primary goal of that was to bootstrap the governance system and issue enough CTX that a vote could be passed. So that has happened. And now the primary, or really only rewards at the moment, are through liquidity pool incentives. So you can see here an estimate of the APYs. So for ETH and TCAP, if I was to put my tokens there on top of any liquidity fees that I would earn based on trading volume, I would also be eligible to earn a 70% APY here by staking that position with the Cryptex protocol. So when you stake, you're essentially taking your liquidity position and putting it with the Cryptex protocol. You're able to exit at any time. It's not a lockup period or anything like that. The only caveat here is that your rewards are issued on a vesting basis. So you'll receive 1/3 of the rewards right away and 2/3 of the rewards at the end of the program. Here you can see, for example, in this account, they have 37 CTX that's eligible to claim now, and then about 350 that will be eligible at the end of the program. Same thing with the CTX pool. This one has a higher APY simply because I think there are less participants, right? We saw that there were less liquidity there. So if you're looking for somewhat of a high yield APY yield farming, ETH CTX would be a great option. Then the last page we have this graphs page, which does not want to work for me, of course, because it's a live demo. So there it is. Okay, great. We see the basically 6 key metrics that we like to track within the Cryptex team. We look at the total value staked. So this is the amount of collateral in all of the vaults. We see the total supply of all TCAP that exists. So TCAP comes into existence by minting, and it is removed from existence by burning. I think I missed that part. We'll go back to that in a moment. You see a TCAP price, total staked in ETH vaults, total staked in DAI vaults, and the CTX price, the governance token. So I didn't talk about burning of TCAP. So when you create a vault, you are basically borrowing TCAP from that vault, and at some point you're going to want to pay back the TCAP, or essentially burn the TCAP, and be able to claim back your underlying collateral. With that, there's a flat fee of 1%, and you can do this at any time. The fee is payable in ETH and goes to the Cryptex treasury. What exactly will happen with those funds is to be decided by the DAO. So if you're interested in driving those kinds of decisions, that's something that Cryptex holders do. So that's kind of the power of the DAO and why it's necessary with having a trust minimalistic protocol and decentralized protocol, is that the DAO drives decisions and not the Cryptex team. And I think that's it for the app. Let's see. Okay, I think we can take some questions now. Keenan, you're muted.
Yep, thanks. So there's one good question that I was kind of going to bring up too. So you mentioned that TCAP is one of the many things to be powered by CTX, or the Cryptex token. What other governance things are you kind of thinking of with this, and that will kind of, beyond just the earning this as like a farming token, what else is going to be on the governance side and going into the application that you're thinking of?
Yes, so great question. And I think basically, what people need to be mindful of is, CTX is going to power the entire protocol, right? So we're starting with TCAP, and what you're going to see come to market are a whole lineup of data-backed solutions that are powered by Chainlink and all powered by CTX. So TCAP is the first, but expect many, many more of these types of assets to come to the market and to be powered by, the CTX governance. So the community is going to have a say in what they want to see come out, and we have an entire lineup ready to go. Basically, it's just a matter of, when we roll out. But to what we're doing in comparison to what other platforms are doing, nothing like this stuff exists yet. So it's, I'm really not going to get into the specifics of the tokens. I don't want to give anybody any ideas yet. But what I can tell you is that what we're working on right now is absolutely going to change the way that things are done. I say that with 100% confidence, and that this is the first bat of the first inning of the first game. And, the things that are being worked on with TCAP, the things that are being worked on with V2 of the vaults, the ideas that Preston and Chris, Preston, he knows I love him, but the guy, I look at him like he's a genius. Like, the guy is absolutely brilliant in what he's done with Ethereum. What Prismatic is doing, securing billions of dollars of ETH2. If I had to bet on anybody in building and development, it's going to be Preston and it's going to be Chris. And these guys are committed to what we're doing. We're here for the long term, and we look forward to the baseball game.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's kind of amazing because you're bringing a couple different concepts of different protocols with the governance side, as well as, I think what might be missed is the with TCAP. So this is almost a hedge. If you're thinking, okay, I'm into this crypto thing, I don't know really where to go, but I really think it's going to keep going. And so being tied to the total crypto market cap is something that I think I've seen ones with a rebase token, but then this takes a whole different spin on the whole thing. And do you want to maybe talk about the idea of tying this kind of concept with the total market cap of the cryptocurrency market, and maybe how the oracle of that works with this?
Yeah, so I think that our goal for TCAP is, you look at total crypto market cap, and it is literally next to the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Chainlink for the Marines out there, one of the most, widely quoted metrics in the world. People are always looking at, oh my God, total market cap, it's, X trillion or X, whatever the number is, but there was never really a means to effectively, trade that. So when we started developing this, it was like, okay, like how could we get just total market exposure into the hands of everybody, but do it in the most decentralized manner where we're operating as a DAO, we're minting, we're not just saying, hey, we're going to issue, 10 trillion of these things. And just because how do you do that for total market cap? Like it's such an important metric. How do you just come out and just say like, I'm going to control how many are outstanding? Like that's a pretty big test. So we want TCAP minted by people who are looking to take advantage of things like arbitrage or, liquidity providing or earning fees on pools. But we want TCAP holders to be people who are looking at the sector, whether institutional or otherwise, and saying, how can I get exposure to the entire market in a single solution? So the Oracle really kind of solves that problem because Chainlink brings data from 5 major data providers, the largest in the world, bring that on chain. We hit that with a divisor of 10 billion. So now you're aggregating this data and effectively collateralizing it. And now, like magic, you have exposure to the entire sector without needing to own 7,037 coins, depending on who the data provider is. And you've effectively solved the problem in the market where nobody could have exposure to the sector without owning the underlying, without it being a basket, without it being something that's riddled with 5% fees just to hold it. And we're achieving our purpose, and the DAO is achieving its purpose, So I think that it provides a unique opportunity to a lot of different people. And our goal is to continue, building TCAP and things like this to bring these types of assets into the hands of everybody. That's kind of the goal. And, we know Chainlink will play a huge part in that. And shout out to Chainlink and shout out to QuantStamp and Don and everybody over there for doing a phenomenal job auditing all this stuff for us. And, we're just really excited to make it happen and help bring these types of things to the world.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thanks for that explanation. So I have a twofold question. And I think, Joe, you can take the first one, and then Preston, I'll do the second question with you. So you currently have pools on SushiSwap, Uniswap. Are you eyeing any sort of cross-chain bridges and maybe doing this on maybe like Binance Smart Chain or Solana, or looking at any other chains, or are you going to keep this fully on Ethereum for now?
For now, I believe that we're focused primarily on Ethereum. We plan, as we were talking about a little earlier, Keenan, to bring other pools of other assets, not to be disclosed at this time, but there's going to be other pools because we believe the DAO should provide as many choices to people as possible in terms of collateral. So, whatever that collateral choice is, which will be announced, or choices are, should I say, that will be announced in the near future because there will be multiple choices. People should have the choice to say, okay, I want to stake Ethereum, or I want to stake DAI, or I want to stake, XYZ to TCAP and use that as my underlying collateral position to go forward with. So that's definitely a priority of ours right now, in addition to, having the governance structured correctly, in addition to the other 9,073 things that are in the process. But for right now, in terms of on-chain stuff, we're sticking with the Ethereum blockchain at the moment.
Cool. And then Preston, the man, the myth, the legend, with everything that's happening with ETH 2.0, are you looking at any sort of layer twos with this to start, or are you kind of keeping this all on the mainnet? And kind of what are your views of the whole layer 2 wars that are happening right now and other ETH side chains?
Yeah, I think that layer 2 is where the real scaling is going to happen. Part of the E2 roadmap now is to include things like ZK rollup transactions and things like that. So yeah, we're looking at these like Polygon and these other layer 2 solutions. Thankfully, in recent weeks or maybe days, I don't know, gas prices have kind of gone sub 100, so that feels a bit better. But we are far from where we need to be in terms of scalability. So we're trying to get TCAP in the hands of everyone who wants it, including retail investors and everyday average people. And we want to keep it decentralized, right? Like, okay, if it's held through some third party in an exchange, for example. But I think that it would really be an ideal solution if it's in someone's wallet on their phone, and that they're not burdened by gas fees or even having to think about that so much. And that can definitely come in some layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum.
Cool. And then for either one of you, I got a good question from the audience here. With the peg itself, you guys, how do you try to keep it as close to the peg as possible, and any plans on working on this?
Yeah, so with regards to the peg, I mean, we have seen a couple of different things. Thank you, Jacob. Really appreciate that. We've seen a couple of different things that have transpired since we launched a month ago. So initially, you saw TCAP kind of trade at a little bit of a discount upon launching to the value that was inside of the protocol. Since then, you've seen moments where we've traded at peg, and then we saw a period of time where the price, after the EA rewards ended, the price went significantly above peg, and it was at a significant premium. And we're looking at that and saying, wow, like, this is great. A lot of people are buying it, but we kind of want to keep the system in line the best we can. So the issue that we have on our end with that is that we don't necessarily want to step in and disrupt free markets. Free markets deem peg premiums and discounts to things at any time. Like it's you look at any asset that's out there, and if there's more demand than supply, there's going to be a premium, and if there's a discount, it's going to be the opposite of that. So basically the way that we try to mitigate that is by coming up with proposals for the DAO, where CTX holders can vote on different things that we're coming up with to try to mitigate these premiums. But before we could get the first governance, we were going to get the first governance vote up this morning. And before that could even happen, after a couple of days of this premium situation, we saw the peg kind of revert to itself on its own. So we said to ourselves, like, okay, like, we're going to propose this vote now, but now this thing is back at peg. Let the free market be the free market. So what I would kind of tell people who are looking at that is to always do your own research, always check out the protocol peg versus where it's trading on the secondary markets, and just be mindful that as more exchanges come online, there will be bigger arbitrage opportunities to kind of work with TCAP. But in the meantime, watch the peg price versus the secondary market price, and just know that we're on it. And if we see things, or the community is telling us that things are a little bit too out of whack, we can propose quite a few different things on the governance side, which we'll get into if that presents itself, and the community can decide. The community can decide what's best for the protocol, and that's the point of what we're trying to do here, is work with the community and making these things happen, and keep it fully decentralized, not be the powers that just say, this is what we're doing and you guys have no say. Like, that's why you have CTX. You have the right. You have the right to do this.
Yeah, I love the community backing of this, and the field that you guys are going for. I know. So last week you spoke with Mayor Suarez of Miami. Is that right?
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago, and we have one of our team members, Thomas, has developed a very, very close relationship with the mayor's office. And Tom, if you're watching this, what's up, bro? Basically, with the mayor of Miami, we actually first met with him in January, and the man is doing such an incredible job of responding to outreach. Like, we cold DM'd him, said, hey, like, we want to come down and talk about like Ethereum, and he's like, okay. So we went down, we got on a tech talk, we brought over Preston, who was there virtually at that moment. We had a couple of news guys there with us, and talked about it a little bit, and I asked him, would you be interested in learning more about Ethereum? And he's like, absolutely. So we left, and we went back at the end of March, and we brought Preston, and we brought Frank Chaparro from the block, and we brought Vitalik himself, and we had this wonderful conversation with Vitalik and the mayor, who Preston, thank you so much for arranging that and making that happen for us. And they had a great chat, and now it looks like things are going to be starting to happen on the Ethereum blockchain with Miami. I cannot comment at this time on what, but what I can say is that it is wonderful to see a major American city embracing the future of the technology and embracing the future of what can be done on the blockchain. And I have nothing but the utmost respect and wonderful things to say about not only Miami and the culture and the people that reside there, but also about the mayor, who is just making incredible things happen for not only the crypto community, but for the citizens of the city. So love the work happening down there. Mayor Francis, if you see this, keep up the great work, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a good, cool story. It's amazing you hear a lot about the Bitcoin side, but that's awesome that they're kind of turning into the Ethereum and yeah, exciting times ahead.
Absolutely, man.
In the chat here, I dropped in also a tweet from Cryptex Finance. I don't know if Preston, you have it pulled up on your computer of this video. Everyone needs to take the 2 minutes and your guys' launch video. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, whoever your designer is, yeah, props.
Yeah, that's we our guys. We actually all do all the designing in house, believe it or not. So I've always loved to make music, and I did the music with our in-house designer James, who worked on this with me, and Cullen handles all of our video. So we have a whole team, a Cryptex team that works in-house on making all of these different things, and they're a blast to make. And the way that we want to position the protocol is every time that we have something important to say, this is how it comes out. There's no pumping, there's no like nonstop talking about just things that don't really make a lot of sense, but you'll know we have to say something because we'll release something of this quality, and this is how we'll say what we have to say. And I just think that it's a really cool way to kind of bridge audio and video with building on the protocol side, and had a lot of fun making this one, and I hope the community and crypto Twitter likes the next ones to come, because they're going to be equally as insane.
Yeah, keep them coming, because this is highly talented. So yeah,
Thank you.
Props to this. Yeah, I
Thank you.
really enjoyed it. It helped make sense too with like Cryptex, and like kind of like in a fun way of being able to explain like exactly what you guys are working on. So highly recommend. It's playing here in the background, but everyone should definitely go listen to the background and the music and everything with it as well.
Yeah, the community, and Keenan, how tough the crypto community is. When you look at the thank you, Mensa, appreciate that. When you look at the how tough the community is, and then you have a stream of posts where everybody is literally commenting on, oh my God, like this is amazing, like this is the best. You did something right, because there was nobody hating on it. So it was like we were most impressed with that there was nobody, like, because you got like 20,000 people that watched this, and like nobody had anything bad to say. So it was like really, really cool that happened.
Yeah, I'll just pull up the comment again, but the fact that you guys made this yourself, mind blowing. I was going to ask you after, it's like, give me the number of the guys that made this. Next time I need to.
Let us know, man.
Got it.
They'll be happy. They'll be happy to work with you, and those guys, James and Cullen. That's like a amazing team, and I can't wait to share the future ones that are in the works, because we're working on like several of these right now, and because obviously all different things that are going to come up in the near future, we want to kind of have videos for. So it's like these guys are already on it. But if you or Chainlink ever needs anything, man, just let me know. I look forward to what we do one together for something in the future. You never know.
Yeah, well, I like the part at the end. You know, it's like it's something there's like powered by Chainlink. So yeah, you got it. It's a nice slip in there at the end. I love it.
Yeah, of course, man, of course, and you know your team, Rory, and you know the rest of the marketing team, absolutely wonderful people, super easy to work with. Always happy to help, and that's one thing that is very impressive about Chainlink is that from the beginning of the protocol to now to where we believe that we will take things, it's just a wonderful thing to say that Chainlink powers this, and the support, the outreach, the community, it's wonderful, you know, and we're really proud to be a part of it and work with you.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for joining. I really appreciate you spending the time and exciting progress. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun working with you guys too. So anything that we can do to help, we're definitely here. And thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in the comments too, and for the great participation and questions as well. And we'll be doing more of these, so definitely stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. You'll see us when we go live. Otherwise, yeah, guys, keep up the hard work, and congratulations so far, and excited to see what comes next.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.